favorite Father's Day memory, if you have one?
I don't have one.
Is that something you celebrate in your family, or not really? Is that not?
Well, my family is mostly women. My uncle was like the male role model for me. My father has life in prison, so I haven't really spent time with him. He's been in jail for 20 years.
Life in prison?
Yes.
Can I ask what he did?
He has possession with intent to sell of cocaine.
And that brings you life in prison?
It's the same thing I said. It's the justice system. I don't believe it's fair, nor does he. He's been trying to make an appeal. He didn't want to give up the plug, so they were like, okay, well, if you don't give us any names, then you're going to sit here. And
so they tried to get him to snitch,
mm-hmm.
and he wouldn't snitch.
Right, because it would have been no life for his kids and family, so, just take the time. Because I feel like if any man does a crime, you have to know how to do your time.
Now, there are some changes. I know, like, New York had these Rockefeller laws, which changed some people's bids that they were doing at the time for trafficking and so on and so forth. I don't know the exact extent of the law and, everything about the law there, but I know, like, I've done an interview with somebody that was facing life, kind of a similar thing in New York, and these Rockefeller laws had just been passed that like people like Jay-Z and stuff like that had been fighting for and talking about, and when they got passed, he had his sentence reduced and was able to get out.
I think the law with Obama was trying to pardon people or decrease some of the reduce some of the time that the drug dealers or drug crimes that they had. I think that he's gonna get out pretty soon. I think he got a letter saying that, they were gonna look into it. But with the law, it's kind of like most of his life is already gone. So when he comes out, it's still gonna be a culture shock to him.
And he did wherever he was that he was found guilty of, was that in the state of North Carolina?
Johnston County, North Carolina, which is really a racist or predominantly white city.
And
county.
North Carolina is a very conservative state.
Very much so.
So, they're not very liberal with the laws. They're very on the old times of things and that sort of thing. So that can be a very tough thing for your father.
And this was back in 1995, so it was even more so of all of what you just said.
How often do you visit him or keep in communication with him? How close are you to him?
For the longest, I was very angry, I didn't understand because I felt like he left me. So I didn't talk to him at all. Like, we were not on speaking terms for probably about 15 years because I didn't understand why he didn't want me to visit him. And I now understand because when people want to get to you, they use your family. And people in jail know everything. So I understand it now that I'm an adult, but I didn't then. I think the last time I saw him was maybe last year, which he's going to kill me. But now he's just like, if you're going to come, you need to come. If you don't come, then don't come at all. So it's kind of hard because I live 6 hours away.
I see. Now, this kind of reminds me of, have you ever seen Blow, that movie with Johnny Depp? And he was,
Yeah, I have.
Into the marijuana trade, and then he switched it to cocaine.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of that. Like, towards the end, he's trying to keep a close relationship with his daughter.
Right.
And then, towards the end, he's having, wishes or dreams or maybe Alzheimer's. He's pretending that his daughter's visiting him at the prison yard, and then it's like a flashback. He's like, she just vanishes in thin air.
Right.
Sad moment part of the movie.
It is.
I can see that with this whole situation of, the daughter being angry at the father and,
He's going through his own trials and tribulations, so I had to realize that I couldn't really be mad at him because what he was doing was trying to provide for his family, because not a lot of black men have a lot of opportunity to, I'm not going to say opportunity, but opportunity, because the hands that they're dealt are so different from, people of other races. So they got to do what they got to do sometimes.
Is he aware of your modeling career and this, that, and the third?
I don't know if he had. I think so, but I don't know for sure. Like, he's told me, like, I've seen you in a video, or I've heard about you being here or there. And when I went to visit him recently, like a year ago, like, all of his inmate friends was like, oh, I know she's fucking with a boss. I know she got a boss taking care of her. Like, it was just funny. He was like, yo, calm down. That's my daughter.
Yeah, how do you visit your father I mean, today you're pretty on camera. Right. Obviously, people see your pictures on Instagram, very pretty, that sort of thing. How do you see your pops in prison? Is it something you get glammed up for? Do you kind of dress down? Like, you still want to be presentable? And
right.
How does that
when
work?
I first went, I was like glammed all up because I wanted him to see me as an adult. But after that, it was kind of like, okay, I still, get presentable. And with North Carolina, I don't know how any other jails are, but they're very strict on how you are supposed to dress. So you can't wear like any tight-fitting clothes, or your arms can't be out, your feet can't be out. So you have to wear like something business casual.
Is it something where you can actually physically touch him and give him a hug, or is it through the glass type of thing?
No, I can physically touch him. He's in a Butner facility, correctional facility. Yeah, so it's medium. It's not maximum. He wasn't maximum, so him being a little bit older now, he got lowered to medium prison where you can touch and conversate.
He was at a maximum, like level 5 type of thing?
Yeah, max.
Oh, wow.
His temper is a little hot.
Oh, well, it does make sense because you got people like in death row or doing like life and stuff like that in those.
And they have nothing to lose, so you can't put them with General Pop who only have like a year or 2 months.
Yeah, they might do something to them.
Right.
That's tough, very tough.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes you tough. I'm not one of those people who likes pity. So a lot of people don't even know about my father's situation just because, I don't talk about it. It made me a stronger person. Everything that I do for my family. Everything is a hustle because I know that I don't want to be a product of my environment. I don't want to say, woe is me. How
old were you when he got locked up?
I was young. Can't say because it will tell my age. But
I see. I got you. But you were young.
I was young. Very young.
Okay. So, I mean, my next question to you in regards to Father's Day, I was going to ask you, what's one thing your father did for you that you will never forget? So because it was so young when he got locked up, I don't know if this question applies to you or if it's a question you can even answer, but...
It's a question that I can't answer. I think for the most part, my father instilled in me to always have courage and don't let nobody fuck with you because he was a badass to the maximum. Like, it was one time, like, I was scared of our dog. It was like, his name was Brutus. It was a Rottweiler. And he was like, go feed the dog. And I was like, no, I don't want to feed him because he's going to bark at me. So he brought the dog in the house, and he was like, you're going to play with the dog, and I don't care what you say. You're going to cry. He was like, dogs are supposed to listen to you. You don't listen to the dog. So I was like, okay. And I kind of got over that fear of dogs. Now I love animals. So it was kind of like, now I have that same badass attitude. Like, I'm not scared of anything.